Charles Harrison volunteered for the U.S. Army after the bombing of Pearl Harbor in 1941. He served in the Pacific Theater and became an official Army photographer.
Thank you for coming. You may decline to answer any questions you're not comfortable with. And if at any point you want us to stop recording, just let us know.
Okay. I don't want any questions about the killing over there.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. During World War II, which branch of service did you serve in?
I was in the 875th Airborne Engineers.
What was your rank?
I was a Sergeant T4.
And where did you serve?
What?
Where did you serve?
Where was I? I was in New Guinea most of the time. I was 26 months in the Army. And then up to the Philippine Islands there, and did mostly guard duty in the Philippines because the war was just ending up there.
All right. Why did you pick the branch of service you joined?
Well, actually, I enlisted in the CWS, chemical warfare, and so I was trained in that, and so I went into the company as a chemical warfare sergeant.
Where did you do your basic training?
I did my basic training in Alabama. Let's see, in Gadsden, Alabama, and that was in chemical warfare. And then I went to Aberdeen, Maryland, and took more training, and then I was assigned to the 875th Airborne Engineers.
What do you remember most about basic training?
The exercise. And of course the hikes and getting you in shape. And we had a wall we had to jump and pull yourself and go over and things like that. And also in basic training, I had appendicitis and had a appendectomy operation in the field, right there.
When you served in World War II, where did you go after basic training?
After basic training, I went to Alliance, Nebraska, and that's where I went into the 875th Airborne Engineers. And there we had a lot of training, and in that we moved our equipment, which was small size machinery, which you use building the airship, like a roller, a sheep's foot instrument, and other things like that. And then from, okay, next question.
You can go ahead.
What?
You can go ahead.
Okay, and from there we were shipped to New Guinea, and we were stationed for 2 weeks waiting for our heavy equipment to arrive, and that was in a coconut grove, which on the right side of New Guinea there, and in that grove the natives who worked on the plantation, and so we worked first exposed the natives there. And then we we flew in C-47s. That's kind of a Army passenger plane over to the Ramu Valley, and that is in the middle of New Guinea, and that is where we were stationed, and we built an airstrip there, and the airstrips we built, we put down a metal perforated plating that is so that your planes could land in any kind of weather. And that was a place where we first made contact with the Japanese. And we found everything first about it, except there weren't any natives there at all at this place here. And we had attacked one night where the Japs crossed the river, and it had rained real hard upstream there, and the stream began to flood. And so when Christ crossed over, they didn't do much activity because it retreated, because they had to swim back across the mountain stream. And I was in a pillbox, and a pillbox is a what I'm trying to say, a sandbag, a dirt bag formation, which you build it out of the bags. And we had a 30 caliber machine gun inside, and all the there wasn't any firing on us at that time. We were stranded on top of the, what do you call that, pillbox, until morning. And we had rifles and grenades only. But just I left some things in the woods that showed that they had been there. And then from there, we were flown north for quite a distance, I guess, or maybe over an hour and a half flight, I don't know, and landed there with gliders and built an airship on a grass mountaintop. And we had natives there, which were headhunters, and we took with us 2 police boys from the Australian Army, and the police boy is the Aborigines tribe down in Australia who is in the Australian Army, and they can easily make contact with natives in New Guinea. It's the reason why they took them. And these police boys, they gave the natives there food, open canned food for them, and had them to remove all rocks and debris from the rice field for the meal. And I went to one grass hut, and they had a human thigh that had been smoked, cooked, it looked like, hanging in the hut, and also they had a bat, put the largest bat in the world, a 5-inch bat was in there, which they were going to eat too. And the natives didn't have hardly any contact with the whites because they were afraid of us. So that was the main reason for taking the Aborigines we did. What else?
Ian, next question.
Yeah. What do you remember most about arriving in New Guinea?
What?
What do you remember most about arriving in New Guinea?
Most about arriving in New Guinea. Well, it was because the first thing we got was a native broke a coconut and gave each of our members a coconut to eat.
Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
Again,
Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
other experiences. Well, I told you about New Guinea. We didn't contact any natives there until we went to the second place to build an airstrip. And then from there, we went to the Philippine Islands. And near Manila, except we went to the top of the Philippine Islands and came down in trucks to a town called P-O-R-A-C, Pool Rock. And that was near Manila. And the Battle of Manila was just ending when we arrived in Pool Rock there. And I made pictures of Manila and the damage that's done, which I have photographs here now. Let's see what else. And in the Philippines, we did mostly guard duty and minor engineering work, like on bridges or something like that. And the enemy there were snipers, and let's see, snipers, and what else I'm trying to think of. And night attacks. So we had a rifle all the time. Well, in fact, in New Guinea, most of the time had a rifle or it was nearby in your tent. You had tents there. Let's see what else I'm find here.
Were you awarded?
Let's see. I was awarded four medals. I can't remember them all now. A good conduct medal, and an overseas medal, and a Philippine fight medal. How many is that? 3?
3.
Okay. Good conduct medal. Okay.
How did you stay in touch with your family? How did you stay in touch with your family?
Oh, how to stay in touch with family. You could write letters, and you could receive mail. Except the letters I wrote had an army code on them, so that they couldn't tell where I was. Except they could use that code, and I would get the mail back.
What was the food like?
The food was canned food. and in New Guinea, one night we heard a noise in the woods, and we machine gunned the area, and the next morning we found a dead hog, a wild hog. So we had hog meat there for a week. And otherwise, all we had was canned food. We would get a bill once a month from Australia. And and it was hot when we got it, so we usually washed out our helmets and poured it into the helmet, and some of us got to cool it in the cooler, but not everybody. One time I got to cool it.
What kind of supplies did you have?
What
kind of supplies did you have?
Well, now, what kind of supplies did we got? Army supplies? Well, I started off with a M1 rifle, and later I got a M1 carbine, which was lighter and easier to carry besides the camera. And let's see what else I had. You had ponchos and everything like that you usually got. And I told you about the equipment we had. Okay.
Could you tell me something that you or someone you knew did for good luck?
Did for good luck? I can't think of any.
Tell me about your camera.
Okay. I got a speed graphic camera. I had this and a 35 millimeter. Now, in New Guinea, because of humidity, the artificial leather came off. So it doesn't have that. Now I'll open it up. And I still have information on here on making exposures. That's it there. And you look through here, and I made a little wire viewfinder and had it on here. That is for quick shots, and it worked fine. It didn't show, I say, quite all of the picture, but it wasn't enough to matter usually.
How did you get the film developed from the camera?
In the back, it took backpacks, pack film, and you slid it in there, and then, right here, I have one in here. If I can get it out. You put it in the camera, and then you expose the film like that. That's film in there, old film in there. And then you put it back in, and then reversed it.
What kind of things did you take photographs of?
Wasn't that what things?
What kind of things did you take photographs of?
Damage mainly. That is from the Japs, and of building the airstrip, showing what material was used, and the small bulldozers and machinery like that were used. And I made some of the natives also.
What are these?
Okay, these are albums here, which I made in New Guinea, in the Philippines, and in Japan. And now that is the first picture I made, and that was on the in the coconut grove. And these natives, they built us a mess hall, a place to eat. And there they are building it. Okay. And there's me. There's a soldier with a submachine gun. Sometime on guard duty, they were available.
Mr. Harrison, would you mind, if you could, hold those photos up so that I can get a close-up shot of them?
Okay,
some of these?
That is my unit there.
Where, can you point yourself out in that photo?
What now?
Are you in the photo, or did you take?
Yes, I'm in the photo right here.
Okay, great.
All right, well, there's a lot of these in here. Now these here are is the Army there. And here's a casualty here where a soldier was shot, even in the area where we were. Now we had guard duty there, and there weren't many Japs there. Well, okay, this is in New Guinea. Let's see. And this is the kind of airstrips we built in metal form. See what else I got. Okay, now here's some action. Here's an action shot here, and most of the time, you didn't wear your helmet all the time. So this was a time when we didn't have time with the helmet on. And here is your 5-foot bat here. That's in New Guinea.
Oh my.
Right here.
Wow.
And they grow to 6 feet sometimes. Okay. Okay. And this in, now here's one of me on patrol. Every 2 weeks,
Which
on
one?
patrol, that's on patrol. And this is where the Japs had fired a mortar shell and set the area on fire. And this is wading a stream. And that's the stream there. Let's see what else I got. Something more important. Yeah. Okay, now here's where we found Jap ammo, and this is a Jap plane that was shot down there. And this is an attack here, and we didn't have helmets on there either. And this is where they're, what do you call them? Explosion from the Japs there. I'm trying to say mortar shell. Okay. Okay. These are the natives there. And this is in the jungle. See it or not? And in the jungle there, you find orchids. If there's an open place, you find orchids growing in the trees. Okay, and here's some natives. The women didn't wear any bras. And that's me with the Jap rifle.
Let me see, if you would, let me see the one with you and the rifle again. I didn't get that.
Let me see it again.
Oh, okay.
And the natives didn't wear much either. Right here.
We just have a couple of minutes until our next appointment, so is there anything else you want to be sure to
Oh,
mention?
let's get this out of the way. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
You through?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now here's some Japs which were captured, and a dead Jap.
Which pictures? Which ones?
This here is a dead Jap, and these were captured.
Oh, okay.
Ready?
Yes, sir. We need to be, we've just got a couple of minutes left.
Oh, well,
Is there anything else you wanted, any other stories or anything else you wanted to tell us?
yeah, in Japan, well, in the Philippines, mostly guard duty and looking out for snipers, hand grenades thrown, and also some mortar shelling. And let's see what else. Mine's gone blank. In New Guinea. I think that's it. This is in the Philippines. Oh, well, the Philippines are just guard duty, mostly. In Japan, before, let's see, where's my thing? I was transferred in New Guinea from my unit to another engineering unit who had lost their photographer from rifle fire from the Japs. So I took his place in the 1176 construction engineers. And let's see. Oh, about in Japan, I made pictures of Japanese life, and the only official order I had was to make a picture of MacArthur coming out of a building, and I made that. Right quick tonight. That would be number 3. Most of these aren't even Japan. They have come unstuck. Here it is right here.
And that would have been in about 1945 or so?
What now?
That would be in 1946 or so, that photo?
I'm not understanding you. You want to look at it?
Sure.
That was in the, I can't think of the town because I was in 3 towns there.
What year?
I believe 45, right at the end of the war. The war was over, and I stayed 2 months. It took 2 months to get a ship to take us to Japan to go home. all the ships is going back to Japan. And these pictures in here are mainly of Japs. Japanese, I don't know if I find a good one. Here's one of people, the custom. Can find a better one. Yeah. Yeah, that's in Japan. Shots like that.
I wish we had more time, but we've got another interview.
Are we out?
Yes, sir, we're about out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Your
Okay.
story is fascinating. It's so nice to have the pictures.